welcome to ASMR Affirmate. As you can probably see in front of me, I have a variety of different tarot and oracle cards here, and I want to tell you a little bit about them today. And I'm going to be pulling cards from most of the decks, and maybe it will apply to you, maybe it won't today. I think that tarot and oracle cards have a wonderful way of being able to add perspective and light to whatever we're going through in our lives. I want to start by spraying some of this homemade essential oil spray. We've got eucalyptus and rosemary for confidence, guidance, and clarity. Wonderful. So, I'm going to start with my manifestation or affirmation cards. This is a super attractor deck. Although it's not considered an oracle or a tarot deck, I like to pull one at the beginning of each video for a little bit of guidance and support from the universe. And I pull one of these at the beginning of every day for myself, and I really enjoy the process of discovering something new about the day, a new perspective. Today we have, I let the universe catch up with my dreams. Let's put that on the table there. I let the universe catch up with my dreams. They also come in this really beautiful box. I really like it. The super attractor deck. I really love when things come in beautiful packaging. And other than really my tarot decks and my books, I'm actually quite a minimalist, so that's saying something. I like to keep my wardrobe so that I could just get up and go any moment, and my belongings, I own them, they don't own me. So this is a original deck, or it's really the deck that has come first in the types of tarot card decks that we know and recognise these days. It's a 78 card deck, and Rider Waite, or AE Waite, conceived these cards, and they've been around for over 100 years now, and they're really the start of the modern tarot deck. Now, tarot, as we know, in terms of history, dates back to around the 14th, 15th century. That's a pretty Eurocentric view. We obviously don't know if there may well have been many civilizations, communities, societies for thousands of years who've used similar divination practices. But tarot as we know it originated in Italy in the 14th, 15th century-ish, during the Renaissance, where art, culture, games, and by games were considered an art form within themselves, were the centre of society, and the original card deck were given meanings to the spades, the clubs, the hearts, the diamonds, And from that stage, the tarot was developed, and it's come in and out of popularity since then. And then this tarot deck, in terms of images, is really where our most recent history starts. So you can see that this is a well-loved deck. This is really my practice deck, my travel deck. There are some missing, and I don't know if that might be bad luck to use, but I'm just showing them to you today. I won't pull a card from this deck, just in case. So you can see from the artwork that there's a lot of symbolism. This deck does have sketches of people, of men and women in different lights, in triumph, in joy, in festivity, and also in defeat and despair, as per the meanings of each of the cards. So, for example, the Nine of Swords. But really, there are no negative cards. They all have their own ways of being interpreted, and a lot have to do with new beginnings. Really offer guidance. I personally like to use them for guidance and structure rather than divination. And our decks have major arcanas and minor arcanas. So the major arcanas generally tend to be cards such as the Empress and the Sun, Strength, whereas our minor arcanas are our Swords, Pentacles, Wands, and Cups. And if you are pulling or having a reading where multiple major cards are read, it's likely that you're going through something big in your life, and or about to go through something big in your life, and the universe is offering you guidance and a helping hand. And the minor cards really help to build a story, structure a story. So this is a great deck, a really brilliant beginner's deck. Wonderful place to start, very, very accessible. You can buy this pretty much anywhere online. So the next deck I want to show you is the Modern Tarot Reader deck. It's very similar to the Rider-Waite deck in many ways. However, it's a greatly modernised version, and the artist took inspiration from Victorian anatomical sketches and have combined them with paintings and drawings of nature in order to build these cards. So it comes with this really beautiful book which helps to explain the cards and the meanings of the cards. It's a really comprehensive guide, and I really love this deck. Let me show you some of the images so we can see from the different cards that the anatomical sketches and sometimes the tools that were used during this period have been used to build a picture and this symbolic nature. So we've got rods, we've got coins, we've got blades, and we've obviously got the major arcana cards, and we've got the elixirs here. The elixirs are akin to the cups, the rods, the wands, the blades, the swords, and it's just a really lovely deck to use. So again, we have the minor and major arcana cards here. I'm going to pull a card from the deck, and I'd really like for the next three sets of cards that I have to read directly from the guidebook, so you have an idea of the intentions of the creator as opposed to just my interpretation, because interpretations obviously depend on the reader. So we have the Hermit. Ooh, I've got one at the back as well, but I'm going to put that one back because I only want one today. So the Hermit is from the Major Arcana cards, and I'm going to read you the description from the book. So the Hermit is aligned with Virgo and is an earth element card, and its companion card is the Moon. And the Hermit appears when it is time for you to retreat from the chaos of the outside world and look inward. So it's a card very much based on self-reflection, times of solitude, sitting with yourself. While there are times when advice from family or friends are welcome, now is not one of them. You need to shed the ideas and opinions of others and figure out what you want and what you think and feel on your own. The Hermit wants you to know that your vision of the truth is and can only be figured out by some deep soul searching. Solitude can be intimidating because it forces you to look into the deepest parts of the soul and the psyche. But it's during these times that you grow the most. When you do eventually emerge, you will bring back with you the wisdom and confidence that comes only from doing the hard work. And the key words here are solitude, seclusion, wisdom, inner guidance, retreat, and meditation. So it's really a time to sit with yourself, to block out, to drown out the voices, the sounds from the outside world, and sit with yourself. Think about what you really want. It's a very powerful card because sometimes solitude is the hardest route to take, but it is necessary for us to evolve and grow. So I've put that card out in front of us, the Hermit, and I let the universe catch up with my dreams. My final tarot deck is the Illuminated Tarot. Now, you may have come across this deck before. Again, it comes in a really beautiful box. This box is very textured and has this gold artwork on the front. It's a much simpler deck, and actually there are less cards here. The major and minor arcana cards are combined, so many of the cards have dual meaning, and it's a much simpler layout in terms of the book and the advice that it gives and the support that it gives. So it's just a few words per card. But I really love the artwork on these cards. It's very creative and leaves a lot to be interpreted. And they have this wonderful texture. All tarot cards, all cards in general, seem to have a slightly different quality to them. And I really like this deck. I'll just show you a few examples of the different artwork. I hope I didn't just show the same card multiple times. So let's shuffle the deck and see what it has for us today. You generally get a feeling for when the right card's at the top, so sometimes I just have to half the deck after a shuffle. Okay, so we have the Queen of Spades, the Queen of Spades, sorry, of Clubs, the Queen of Clubs is confidence and strength, not spades, clubs. It's a really beautiful card. We can see that strength from the lion and the cats, the big cats, that really strong feline feminine energy here from the Queen that really builds up inside. So perhaps if we were to start building a picture here, this solitude, this time of solitude, this time to be a hermit is for the sake of building this confidence up, building up this inner strength in order to go back into the world and conquer and be strong and the person that you've always wanted to be, or perhaps the person you were and you just needed a reset. Perhaps you've burnt out slightly. So this is a really gorgeous deck again. I mean, I say that about all of my decks. But they are really fabulous, and each is so special for different reasons, and the artwork is so individual. Now, finally, I have the Starseed Oracle deck. So it opens in this really, really beautiful way. It's quite a compact deck, which I like. Some of the decks I have are slightly bigger. And in terms of the box anyway, again, it comes with a notebook that I will read from. And the idea of the star seed is that we are all star matter, we are all seeds of the stars, and we have been to this earth many times before in many different ways, in many different lives, and we have the huge privilege of being here once again, perhaps, and that we all have these special gifts and special purposes, and the starseed deck calls us to these messages. So I'll show you again some of the artwork. There's lots of lilacs, light blues, pinks, whites, silvers. It's a really, really beautiful deck. It's really beautiful to see all the different interpretations from the artists. So let's shuffle our final deck and see what it has to offer. I feel like this card wanted to come out there. Forge, don't follow. So actually really perfect unison for the cards we have. This one says, pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Forge, don't follow. I'll read you an extract from the book. It's great, this book is alphabetically organised. This card is for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward all those who feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There is no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look at those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who'll follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. So this is a really powerful card, and if we were doing a reading right now, we've got the Hermit, which is solitude, and they often say that, leaders can be lonely people. They can have followers, but it's hard to go first. It's hard to look within and do the work and then come out stronger. This card of strength, this Queen, she is in many ways a hermit. She is isolated because she must be strong, and that doesn't mean she can't have those really, really close to her. But be careful who you're listening to. Forge, don't follow. Be the person who really paves the way, and don't be afraid of isolating yourself in order to grow. I think this is a really powerful reading, and if you're really resonating with this, listen. Allow yourself, remove yourself from perhaps those who are not serving you, from habits that aren't serving you, and that may be lonely for a while, but maybe you need to do this in order to become the person and the leader that you need to be. And the universe will catch up. It will support you. It's always going to be there. I really hope that you have enjoyed this introduction to my tarot deck. I'm excited to do more readings for you going forwards in the future. If you have any questions or comments, do have a look down below. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time on May Discovers. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a beautiful day.